Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of the above. It's wonderful to be back for part 2 of my... Oh my God, what a chat I had with Joe from Kaiko Fidgets. And this episode, this part 2, is... Boy, oh boy, do we cover all of life's questions, answers, concerns. We cover it all. Life, love, passion, work, sex, death, grief. So it was just, it was a very long conversation that we had, and I frankly didn't want you to miss out on some of these conversations we had, because I know these are the sorts of conversations you have yourself, and it's really comforting to know that other people are thinking about these things too and talking about these things. So I really hope you do feel like you're a part of this conversation. You can always message me, you can email me, and you can join in on the conversations on the private Facebook page. It's been a wonderful two-parter. I'm really proud of the conversation, and well, I wouldn't say I'm proud. Not proud. I'm really happy that we did this, that I have extended it to 2 parts, because it's just one of the great conversations that I've had with someone who's also neurodivergent, and I really, really hope you enjoy it. I'll have a quick word to you after the end of the conversation and talk to you about the next episode, which is, again, oh my God, it's another amazing chat. I want to tell you a little bit more about it. So catch up with me at the end of this chat with Joe, and I'll tell you more about it. Let's get on with it. I was just going to say, have you thought about, have you been able to conceptualise just how much good is being done?
Oh, it blows me away in a good way almost every day, because I get emails. I mean, I don't ever share them unless someone says I'd love a shout out. But the private people that. Yeah, it is mind-blowing, and it fills my cup, and it's why I do 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's not exaggerating. It's why I completely have no balance in my world, because it's just so important. I do need to build in some balance. We don't do very good self-care. I don't do very good self-care, but I'm trying to do better at that so that I can do what I do more effectively. But like, if someone gives me a 4-star, I go, oh, what didn't I get right? It's all so I spend a lot of time self-lashing.
Me too. Yeah.
So those emails top me up and go, no. So,
right.
Some days, some of the comments that we get on socials from people who aren't even our customer, who have never even experienced our product, have no idea what they're talking about, will say something unkind.
Yep.
And literally, I get myself into a state where I think, I'm just going to stop doing it. I don't want to do this anymore. Yes. And then I'll get this beautiful, thank goodness I get emails pretty much more than one a day.
Right.
So, and it's often late at night that I'm reading them, because that's when I get me time, and I'll be reading them, and they'll go, and they'll just top my little cup back up to a, no, this is why you're doing what you're doing. And that washes away a bit, although some of them don't. People don't understand when they lash out to people on socials how there's another human at the end of this. I used to not read them at all, and then I realised that people were saying really harmful things that would hurt others and trigger others.
Yes, yeah.
And so then I realised I had to be responsible and adult and read them so that I could, block them or respond to them or whatever.
Well, some you can't respond to,
I had one. My favourite one for me, his name was Otten, and it's burnt in my brain. I can't remember much about much, but I remember Otten's words word for word, and I'll take it with me to the grave. It will be burnt in my brain. And he said, Kenoth, so he's obviously Australian. Kenoth, just what I need, some fat, ungroomed, 50-something-year-old woman peddling shit from Temu. Give me more of that. unquote. So Otten got me, but a bit like you. Usually I get really upset.
Yeah.
I just wrote back, Otten, at least I show up with a kind heart, and apologies for not putting makeup on. You're right. And I said, but the funny thing, Otten, is now that you've commented on my fat, ungroomed self, the algorithm of Facebook's going to dish up more. You're welcome.
That's true.
I know. Comment and you're going to get more of me.
Oh, God. I think I saw
usually
that.
Just say, do you want a hug? Yeah. Or you sounds like you need a hug.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I get sassy. It just depends on my mood on the day. But people don't understand because, like, underneath it, like, he didn't actually, you're right, that one for some reason didn't upset me because I just thought, you're a dick. I had one that commented some horrendous thing, and one of my gorgeous customers or followers researched his profile, found that he was a teacher at a secondary school, screenshot his message and sent it to the principal.
I do that. I love it. As often as I can.
Now, just a streak.
No, screw karma.
Exactly. Do better. Just do better.
You've got to do these. Sometimes you've got to do these things and not just wait for the universe to do it for you. You know?
Yeah, no, I would absolutely. The weird thing is, you can, like, on Facebook, you hit report for some of these things and it goes nowhere. It actually, so you don't even know if it actually. I don't think it does. I don't think anything happens.
No.
But sorry. We're off topic.
No, what do you mean off topic? When were we on?
Really on topic. Yes, we haven't got.
How on topic is being off topic?
Was there one question that you actually had even?
No, because we went through. I wanted to make sure that we're covering stuff to do with business, but I also didn't want to cover stuff that you would have already covered, ad nauseum. Yeah. On other podcasts or whatever, there was I don't think there's any point, because if you're interested in learning more about the business, you go and have a look at the website. There's plenty of stuff out there. So I preferred to talk to you as a person, as well, and referring back to the business as something that's important and, informs your life.
No, but it's so woven. Anyway, but I was more being playful. Is there anything you wanted to know?
I usually have to say that at the end. The two things I remember at the end of every time I'm interviewing something is, one, I never introduce them. That's one. Oh, which I didn't do again. Well, but I usually
that makes sense for me.
I do an intro on my own later, but maybe just to save me the headache, can I just quickly say, and you respond, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
So great to be here, Dan. Thank you so much for inviting me.
And I'm just going to put all this in there anyways.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care.
I have to be honest about it. So there's that, and the other one is, we got to make sure that someone gets to plug themselves. Now, obviously, I'm going to be putting everything on notes. I'm going to be mentioning at the start, that sort of stuff. But if there's anything particular going on at the moment that you think would, you wanted to share.
In terms of Kaiko.
No, bathroom habits.
Well, we've already discussed those.
So we don't have to worry about that. So make it just Kaiko then. Just Kaiko.
No, really just to encourage, if people have questions, reach out to me and I'll help, because to me, sensory is so personal, and it might take me a week to get back to you, but I'll overthink the question. Yes. And information, and they're not cookie cutter. They're literally each one. I probably should use some version of, helpful collection, but I don't. Each one I respond to individually. So I really love helping. There's there's lots of resources on the website as well, and there'll be more coming. But it's just very much know that sensory is a very important part of most people's diet, and there's nothing that's wrong or off topic if it is something that's causing harm or damage, and you want to find something that is safer, that's okay. But that's probably the only thing I ever say to people. If it's causing damage or can, cause infection, then it's probably a good one to try and explore options, alternative. But otherwise, you do you.
The big difference I see is that this isn't a Temu. This isn't anything like that. It literally is that you're seeking out. It goes beyond you just wanting to sell something. It didn't get, that whole business didn't get informed from that. It came from an interest, a need, and a passion. All these things, and it's still informing everything you do now. Obviously, the fact that you take time to respond to people, that's the sort of stuff that's needed, and that's a big difference between the sort of the shit stuff you can get from places where they don't care. They don't care about the product. They don't care about whether it's going to last or not.
No, and we have never. I can honestly, hand on heart, say I have never personally or within Kaiko bought one thing off Temu in my life. But on that, actually, a really important thing to understand is sometimes, and often people will say, I've seen that on Temu for $7. Why are you selling it for $24.95? Yeah. It's often for our range, it's often what you don't see that actually defines it or constructs it. So we often change materials to weight it more. So it might be some sort of zinc or like it could be just a whatever, metal or aluminium, it'll become a stainless steel. Our beads, we initially we had beads that were just already created to make our Caterpillar, which is one of our signature products that's very similar to, it's good for hair twirlers, but blue tack rollers. It's very similar to a rosary bead, I guess. And they were stainless steel, but they weren't food grade. And what we found is a lot of people will put them like they do other things in their mouth. Yes. Now, is it meant for oral use? No. Yeah. Does it end up in people's mouths? Yes. And so once I understood that, even though it's not promoted for oral use, but it does end up there, I just couldn't live with myself not to have them food grade stainless steel. Yes. So now all our beads are food grade stainless steel, but that's 3 times more expensive.
Yes.
And I had to go to a different factory to do it. So all of a sudden, so people can see copycat versions, and they say copying is the nicest form of compliments, but it's like actually, the justice thing in me is like, go find your own, go do your own thing anyway. But but it, our spinners, we'll get a sample in, and we'll really we design a lot ourselves, but we also source them that other people have designed and buy from them. We'll get it in and we'll go, need to change the weight, or we'll change the bearing. So almost all our spinners have a performance skateboard bearing in it. There's a particular name of it. I forget what the box bearing's called. It's that. But it's a performance bearing. So most people, when they pick up, they go, oh, my goodness.
Yes, exactly.
But if you put, for example, if you put our square spinning cube next to one on Temu, they look exactly the same. But how many of us, not me because I haven't ever bought off Temu, but how many times have you bought something off one of these cheap sites and it's arrived and you've gone, oh.
Oh, no, a lot. It happens all the time.
And yet people compare it. It's like, I don't know too many of our products. In fact, that's actually my I can't even say it, litmus test for my product. Yeah. If I get it and I go, meh, then I can't stock it. I have had whole products I've got in and gone, meh. Or we've ordered it, we've had a sample, it's been fantastic, and it's come, and then it's unlike factories to send not what they've, it happens because we make a lot of our products in-house. And the other cool thing that a lot of people don't know, and I don't promote because it sounds kind of shit to say, I don't want people to think we're saying it to sound good, if that makes sense. But we could have our core range of fidgets made offshore. It would be cheaper. It would probably, absolutely. But do we know? So Kai still makes all the medium fidgets because that's his signature first, and he still makes other ones as well, but the medium definitely, or the chain fidgets. And we have a massive community of neurodivergent and, actually not all. So I've got single mums that that are local that struggle to hold down other work because of what's going on in their space, or just from and they actually have. I've got youth as young as 11 and 12 that have their own ABNs, and they form their own little micro businesses and invoice me for the products.
That's amazing.
And they get paid appropriately. Like I once had one of our makers say, I'm actually making about $80 an hour, because he'd worked out a really clever jig way to create them fast. And I'm like, good on you. I don't mind if you earn $80 an hour, because I pay per piece. That way, if they sit and watch their shows and do 2 an hour, it's not on me. It's on, you know. And I love the fact that it so these are the things that people don't see. And I unapologetically, like, we're not rolling like this is overshare. Why can I pay each other $60,000 a year? I'm pretty sure that's under award. You know, like, we're not.
I know.
I just need to pay my bills.
Doesn't care. Exactly. We don't care about that. We just don't care.
No. So when people say you're ripping people off or expensive, no. You know what? It's because I actually give a shit, and I have food grade stainless steel. I have bearings that won't disappoint you. I use materials that, even the factories that we do have stuff made overseas, they're ethically sourced. They're people that I make sure it's not some horrible, you know, and all of that costs. When people bag postage too, I find that hilarious. Would you send a parcel? Like I think Australia Post do a really great job of,
they do.
You know, like, would you send a parcel to WA that goes through 7 points of contact for like $12? I don't know about you, but I couldn't make that work. There's no business model I can think. I mean, obviously they've worked it out so that they can make money, but I just think when you think about what actually has to happen in Australia, I don't think it's too bad.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. Mike was at Neurospicy, wasn't he?
Sorry?
Mike was at Neurospicy at my event.
Yes, yeah.
When I got to go out after the recording and go outside, and all the store, it was amazing. There was so much buzz around the stores. It was fantastic, and people were loving all the Kaiko stuff. But when he handed me some of that stuff, and I'd had some, like, it was more, I suppose, the kids, the ones who got to handle and stuff, rather than me, and Jen would be the person buying it. So I didn't have enough that much experience. When I picked it up, I actually let out a gasp, because I'm like, what the hell?
You've just lit me up.
It's like heavy, and it's like, and it feels really solid, and that makes a big difference between the sort of the some of the shitty light stuff, which is like, it doesn't feel right. But when I picked it up, you're always like, it was gobsmacked. I'm like, oh my God, how much does this cost to make? This is solid stuff. Like, this is 1950s, 60s, you know, we've got all the steel and the whatever in the world. We don't have to worry about that, but let's just make it last forever. That doesn't get done anymore. You don't get products like that. You know what I mean?
But you do.
You can. And you can. That's it.
And that's the thing, you know, so if I mean, we're a family with lived experience, and we actually give a shit about what goes into the fidgets or the sensory tools, and we also design things that look and feel appropriate for any age, not just. So we try and focus where most finish. So most, you know, sensory businesses and suppliers kind of do the, you know, 3 to 10-year-old, you know, they're toys. Repurposed to sensory, they're both whatever. And that they're fine. They all have their purpose. I don't have there's, you know, the thing you were talking about, pulling threads out. Yeah. You know, there's cheap. You can get cheap and cheerful ones, like for $10 from Kmart, and they have their place. And it's not that I have a problem with them. So if you enjoy those, go do you. That's fine.
Yeah.
the silicon in those that we've developed it's flesh-like. I have actually hyper focused on making sure that, and so even once all the things are out, it actually creates that sensation of that often people are seeking when they're picking at their skin of the collapsing of flesh. So, you know, it's that hyper interest and the threads. We used we did Japanese because Kai's hyper interest, but a Japanese fishing wire, so that when you're tugging it out, it feels like you're really extracting like an ingrown hair. Like we and the other thread in one of them is so in the fishing wire, and it also has a polyester fibre because it'll break when you pull it. You know when you pull out a splinter and it breaks, and then you've got to go foraging. Yes, you're excited. Yes. That one is designed for that. So we very much unpack, you know, adult needs and try and cater for those. We're not just about a quick win. Hey, this is a trend. The picky pads are popular. Let's put some plastic in it and off you go, and let's do the cheapest silicone we can get or whatever. We're purpose driven.
Okay, I know because I saw the losing your shit kit at the event, which was so cool. I love that. And you got like the naughty corner. I still haven't done a podcast about neurodivergence and sex.
Oh,
and
Carol
sex lives
Jean
and stuff like that.
You've got to interview Carol Jean. That's her. She's fantastic.
She's been mentioned a few times. I really need to get onto her because it's just we just have not covered at all.
It's something that I think is really important, and the only reason we haven't done it, like in terms of sensory, although we dabbled. Like I'm currently working with a sex toy factory. True.
Yes. Yep.
Working on a product that it's not going to be a sex toy, although I'm sure it will be multifunctional so that people can use it however they want to, and it will be appropriate. It'll literally fit all the criteria.
And safe, and when you said fit all, like it'll fit.
I wasn't sorry. Yeah, I didn't think too much about the fit thing. But it will be a multifunctional tool. But it'll be a different shape, so it won't look like a penis. So if a 5-year-old is finding them, because vibration's really helpful for grounding. And often those that are having panic attacks find vibration helpful. So Yep. So this one will feel it's a really soft silicone, and the vibration of sex toys though is quite high because it's designed for pleasure. But it's a little bit too high for regulation. So I'm working with the factory to bring the vibration, and I'm also wanting a heartbeat version.
Of course. Oh God, I hadn't thought about that. The industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So they would be having, they would be spending a lot more time on design of products and the right materials and things like that you could really source from.
That's right, for sensory. So I'm segueing. So they're really loving working with me because I'm imagining things in a different way. Like they're focusing on. But but even sex toys was something that I very much wanted to lean into that are appropriate for. And Carol Jean has this amazing little side business or passion project. They call it Morning Wood, and they design sex toy furniture. This is over in America. It's called Morning Wood. What a good name. I love it.
What the hell?
Morning Wood, because you know what a woody is, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm trying to work out how that works on furniture.
I know. I want to know about splinters. I ask all the questions. I've had conversations. Anyway, you can ask her about that maybe. You can say, Joe secretly told me.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, sorry.
Have you got a leg in? Because do you know her and you can actually introduce us?
I know a person. Yeah, I could absolutely introduce you.
Oh, please do, because it gets very hard sometimes to get some of these people.
Yeah, no, I'll introduce you. You'll adore her. She's amazing. Coming back to Kaiko, we would love to. I know I get asked a lot about binders and other for those that are transitioning or in terms of and so that's a space I talk, because there's a lot of overlap and crossover, and it's a sensory thing as much as it is also in terms of gender identity and what's comfortable, but. because Kai only turned 18 last year, having a kid's business with toys, and it just didn't feel okay for me.
No.
It didn't feel cool.
Of course.
He was a hard no for it. Like, I did talk to him, and I warned him that might come. He's still a hard no. He's only just turned 19, and he's still like, oh, I'm not comfortable. So we did actually create a website, which doesn't exist anymore, in the attempt to sort of test the waters in trying to, disassociate from Kai, but the website was a complete disaster. It cost me thousands every month just to have it exist, and it sold like 2 things a month, and it was kind of like, I don't know what I didn't nail in that, but it didn't land. Anyway,
you could change the name. You could just have a side name that just.
Well, I don't know that it was the name. I don't know. I even had, photography. I had, everybody was neuroqueer that actually was in the photo shoots, and it was amazing, but it just it didn't work. My hero shot on it was. An amazing one of the models was trans, and they were sitting there with their finger up with a fidget on it, their middle finger, and the photographer who'd taken the shot said, I know you won't be able to use this one, but I thought you'd love it. And I'm like, not only do I love it, it was literally my main shot. Maybe that was why my website didn't go well.
Okay, There's a good Johnny Cash photo of him doing that too. I love it. It's one of my favourite photos. On the other part of that is someone like myself with body dysmorphia, where that would be products that would help with what were you calling it? The sort of the pressing.
Yes.
That sort of stuff that how sort of it's like I was laughing with my best mate about this. It's like essentially a girdle, because I was talking about how I went to what's the TV show with Grant Denyer, the opening up all the suitcases and what's it called? Anyway, I'll remember it later. I had to get to have to make sure that I had to wear a shirt, a short sleeve shirt, but I had to put something on that was just sort of contain me sort of thing, so I felt comfortable. But it was just we're having such a laugh about this girdled old man walking into the TV thing. It's
a very real sensory need. Actually, have a look at, and if anyone listening that finds that same sensory input helpful, the Starfish store, they're in Shell Harbour in New South Wales. Kirsty, the owner, is a gorgeous friend of mine also, and one of our stockists. Right. They've got a weighted compression vest, so you don't have to weight it, but it has pockets that you can weight as well. And they have both adult and children's sizes.
Wow!
So it's a compression vest. There's also jet-proof clothing. Michelle, the owner, is also a gorgeous human and have the jet-proof clothing. And while we're on clothing, there's Jam the Label is a label design or a range designed by 2 OTs who have a whole range of very inclusive, both from those that might have physical disabilities that make clothing difficult, and also from a sensory perspective. And then there's sensory clothing.
What was the name of that, sorry?
That's Jam the Label.
Sensory Friendly have been on the podcast.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, so and she was at the event as well. Had a stall there.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. So awesome. There's lots of things out there, but the compression, Jetproof and Starfish store both have different things, but that might be suitable.
I'll chuck them all on there on the notes.
And if people are wanting binders specifically, there are I can't remember off the top of my head. If you need the information, I can probably find it. But there are I know there's at least one company in Australia that does binders, because we had a lot of people saying, can you please stock binders? Because if a product's not doesn't come from an Australian store, you can't buy it through NDIS.
Oh, I see, of course.
And so people were asking us to get it.
Yes, yeah.
They could,
yeah, that's right.
Because
yeah.
most companies are in America that make binders. And also the pack and play equipment for those that are transitioning too. Again, but I really wanted to do that because I don't know anyone here that does make them, but they're all custom made. So how do you do that? How do you? It's very boutique, very like
find someone local.
Yeah, it really needs to be somebody making it locally and supplying it. I couldn't. It was too hard to import because you couldn't stock a range because people had to measure from point A to point B to get the right fit, and then it gets.
I need to get Julie on board this for the sensory friendly stuff. She should be the person who makes
does
this
pack
happen.
And play and binders. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I should. I might talk to her about that. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, look, we've gone on we've talked for a long. Sorry, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say sex. I think that's a really important space to talk about sex because it looks different for everybody, and often it is experienced differently through a neurodivergent base. There's sensory and there's all sorts of and I think it's important to. I like delving into topics that are helpful to people in a really meaningful way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
and even for, I've got a friend's son who's he's nonverbal and he is autistic and very high support needs. And he's a young man now, and he like anyone, whether it be him or anyone, he not being able to work out how to actually self-satisfy.
No, I know that's a very big thing, yeah. And
it is tricky. And as a parent, how do you help them? Like, there's an amazing, is it not active? There's a beautiful clinic here in Melbourne that specialise in this space.
Right.
Which is really cool. So if you want the link to, again, I can
that happened a lot when I was working with you because some of the kids were teenagers and all the family would try and do is just knock the hand away and say don't. But hang on.
No, we've got a couple of products that we've developed that are similar. In fact, one of them called Slugger. He's called Slugger on our website. I actually literally wanted to call him Tugger the Slugger or Slugger the Tugger.
Slugger the Tugger.
Because he's designed to be about the same size as a male penis, more teen to adult, that on a sensory level. Here I'm doing the action. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's not visual, don't worry.
You're getting the visual. That actually creates a sensation. Now, it depends, again, sensory. Sometimes can be just that soft, beautiful texture, but sometimes it's pleasure. Now, if it's pleasure, then there's the pleasure thing. But if it's the sensory, so, if they're out and about in the community and they're struggling to keep their hands out of their pants, then giving them something that has a similar texture and shape.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. At home, I say just you do you,
Yeah. Anyway, and teach them how to wash, how to wash sheets.
Oh, yeah.
I had no one told me when I was, no one told me. I had no idea what was going on.
No, I recently found, and I think they have a really great application. In fact, I'm exploring. It's on my sensory visual not Dreamboy, Doom's pile of things I want to look at. It's called an egg. Oh, I think it's called an egg. It's an egg-shaped thing, and it's actually meant to go over the penis. And I think it's meant for self-stimulation, and you ejaculate into it. I think. Oh. I don't know. I haven't really done a lot of research into what they meant it for, but the texture is very amazing.
There you go.
And I actually thought that in that space of intellectual disability or would be, it might help them, give them that sensation that kind of helps.
I just realised that because I also worked at what was back then called Spastic Society.
Me too.
Oh, there you go. It wasn't
horrible name,
Von Turner or?
No, Footscray.
Yeah, Footscray. Okay, yeah. Then I loved my work there. Oh my God! But they've got ones that are like they do the motion, the buzz, obviously for women it's a different thing. That's enough. But for men, there needs to be some sort of mechanism that's going up and down, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yes. For someone with cerebral palsy, that would be ideal.
Yes. There's the whole.
Wow.
I know. And it's important because everybody...
It really is, yeah. Yep.
But people say, you should... There's so many people that like to say you shouldn't, or whatever, but it's like it's an innate human need.
Exactly.
As long as you don't hurt other people, without consent, actually, I should say, because some people, BDSM is another huge space. That's a good topic as well, because there's very big overlap.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure that would definitely be informed. That's another good idea for talking to someone.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's another podcast.
Yeah. Yep, because I find that all quite fascinating.
You could
being Mr. Vanilla, but it's that sort of stuff, those sort of kinks and things like that, I just find absolutely fascinating, because I usually think there's some sort of trigger that's happened earlier on. That there's a trigger of multiple senses that have been involved, which have created this thing. This particularly with things like attraction and that sort of stuff, there has to be some sort of trigger, and also a genetic disposition, but it's fascinating.
It's sensory too. Kink and BDSM, you would be shocked at how many times a week somebody will talk to me like the overlap, because our products overlap, not specifically, but it's all very much in. Well, certainly in my space,
yes, that's it. Yeah,
I don't talk to it necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't share other people's. No. They share privately, and I respond privately, and I try and support where I can. And if I don't know, it's a great question. Let me ponder, and I will. I'll hyper-focus and ponder off. And I love learning from people too.
I do too, and I love learning.
My best teachers are people. Anyway. But thank you so much, Dan.
No, thank you. I know we've gone way over, but don't worry. I think there's a lot of conversational stuff that we don't necessarily have to keep, because I try to make it about an hour or 15, something like that. Okay, so I will have to.
Oh, totally. There's so much in there that you do. You have my permission to share anything in there.
Well, I thought the stuff we just talked about then was great. We just started getting more into, sort of going into the business, but also taking it off in different directions, and lots of ideas, and it's awesome. Yeah, it's so good. I don't mind what you share. In terms of what you cut and you don't cut, go for it. Yeah, look, we didn't really sort of mention anything in particular. There might be a few things I'll go through. I think No, I'm not sure I'll bother mentioning the school itself, the name necessarily. Do you think they'd have a problem with that? Oh, no, they wouldn't. No. Okay. All right. They wouldn't, because when they launched the new Werribee campus, I said to them, and even when Kai was pitching, he mentioned the school. I said, what is your preference? Because if I shout out Hester on Kaiko, your enrolments team are going to freak out. Yes. And they're like, no, share away. It's actually run Melbourne City Mission. Oh, is it? That's interesting. Yeah. Weird. They're beautiful. They have houses. They have fridges there filled with frozen meals because a lot of the students are not in stable accommodation. They have showers there. Yeah. They only have 4 blocks. They have a no suspension, no expulsion policy. If you are unsafe for yourself or someone else, they facilitate you getting home and come back tomorrow and try again. Okay. Yep. They have hybrid programs. They have, I can't even tell you. A nugget station, a chicken nugget station. The only thing they don't now, and I don't even care if you include, the only thing I've told them, so they provide breakfast and they have breakfast and lunch there for their students. Every student can, but they don't have enough nuggets. They don't have enough of their safe foods. That's ridiculous. I don't understand. Recently, there was a study, I don't know, a friend of mine participated in it, who's a psychologist and also she's autistic ADHD, creating nuggets. One of the universities in Melbourne created some nuggets that are more nutritionally and they did a study. They had to eat these nuggets 3 meals a day which is no autistics. I said that's actually, but it is. It's a safe food. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Henry's an aficionado. So he has 5 or 6 foods he eats. That's it. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
And people don't that's a really good topic to unpack too. People don't understand. People say he'll eat when he's hungry, or they'll eat when they're hungry. No, they will not. Actually, no. Kai will not eat for 3 days solid, no problem, rather than eat something. The analogy I use, and this is actually a really good one and you're welcome to, include or not include, but it's not my own. I heard it at a something I went to, and they explained that it's not fussy. They're not fussy. It's a sensory palate. And it would be a bit like, this is my ad-lib version of it, a bit like if I invited you over for dinner, Dan, and you sat down and I served you a plate of raw chicken, could you eat it? Is there anything that could bring you to eat the raw chicken on the plate? No. If I tried to force feed you the raw chicken, would you gag or would you? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And so for somebody that is unable to or saying no to food from a sensory, it's their raw chicken.
Oh, that's a really good way of explaining it to annoying people.
Yes. It's their raw chicken. And so for me as a parent, because I used to stress because everyone's saying you're so fuzzy, you should like constantly. And that was even before Kai was diagnosed.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
You constantly get that chatter. The moment I heard that, all of a sudden, whenever I presented something to Kai and he said no, I just go in my head, it's his raw chicken.
That's a really good way. Yeah.
From that moment on, I did not care if spaghetti with no sauce, fine.
Yes.
Rice, but only jasmine rice, but not with nothing on it.
Yep.
Chicken nugget, but it has to be a McDonald's chicken nugget because
particulars.
And it's very specific.
Absolutely,
Coles beef sausage.
Oh God,
Heaven help you if they change the recipe. Oh my gosh.
And oh my God, no, that's not the same one.
No.
What?
I once tried to hide something in Kai's food and it got life. So he ate Weet-Bix up until I put something in it to try and someone said it's really good for their brain function, gives them hemp oil. So I tried to put a sneaky little bit in there.
Yeah.
No sneaky bit. No.
Yeah.
And I made it unsafe.
Yeah.
I now understand a lot more. But
of course, that's right.
Do you know what I mean? And it gets life. If something's not right, it gets life. So don't fuck with it.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so from our perspective then, I've got a take on this as far as eating sensory issues. Yeah. Being the age we are, I don't have really any sensory issues that I can't deal with.
Yep.
I think it's because I grew up in the 70s and you ate what the hell you were given.
Yes.
And so I think I developed stimming or coping mechanisms to be able to eat anything I want to now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that might have something to do with it? You were just kind of, you didn't get it. That was just knocked out of you, the ability of just saying, I don't want that because I don't like the feel or taste of it or the texture.
I'm sure to some extent, but whether it is or isn't, for me, I like to honour each individual's. I'd rather them be authentically who they for me. So I don't push my kids at all or myself. Having said that, there's things that I still can't eat that just you know.
But do your parents say you eat what is on that plate?
They did. I was in the same generation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying is that process of being a kid and being told you have to finish what's on your plate, it hasn't been great for our generation with eating disorders, but also textures and things. Being able to deal with textures where you probably couldn't. Nowadays we wouldn't force the texture on them, but back then we were. So I think in some ways there's a positive. I think we can have a lovely range of food, and we love making food is because we can have lots of different textures.
Yeah, but I think too as we mature, I look at Kai, he has grown up so much in these last 6 months being part of this competition because he's had to travel overseas.
Yeah, that's right.
There's not a lot of safe food that you can find that's safe because, a sausage isn't a sausage and you're in South Africa and all of a sudden.
That's right.
A chicken nugget isn't a chicken nugget.
Yeah.
He was on a film set for 8 days, so they tried to cater to his needs and they really tried hard. And still couldn't nail it because it's just not possible, And he had to stretch but he's now, as you get older too, you're able to recognise And you can probably, for some, you can stretch a little bit. Kai likes sweet things, so he will stretch himself.
Yes.
He will put something in his mouth that he's not sure about if it's sweet.
Yep.
And he's okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Something that's not, I mean, you know, anything like a soup or a stew, anything like, oh my gosh, never, ever, ever, I doubt will he put anything like that. But so his hyper interest being Japan.
Mm-hmm.
When he was 17, I said, would you like, and we were going to take him for his 18th to Japan.
Right.
So that was his birthday present. And so I said, would you like to go to we went teppanyaki.
Yes, yeah.
Because, you know, all the foods are like barbecued in front of you and it's
sweet.
And can control. And he went and like I watched him put maybe 10 new things in his mouth. Now, when I say it was probably a quarter of the size of a pea that went in his mouth, but he did it.
Yeah.
Now, I've never seen him stretch like that. It's always like literal no, but it was his hyper interest. It was Japan.
Yep, that's
he was
right.
going to Japan. He wanted to know whether or not he could eat food if he couldn't find. Thank goodness.
That's right.
Japan has lots of McDonald's.
I think distance and geography is conducive to change as well. The ability to change and try things that can help. And then, of course, later on, it's things like partners and peer groups and that sort of stuff can obviously they have more effect than parents do.
Yeah, I asked Kai recently. Actually, he came out with me, and this was a stretch for him. So I said to him, we were in the city looking at something he was interested in, and I said, I'm really hungry. I really like fusion Asian, and normally I just eat McDonald's or whatever he does, and I'm like, I don't want to. And I said, would you? So he got what he wanted at McDonald's, and I said, would you come with me and sit in the restaurant? Yeah. And he said, okay. Now, that was a stretch because the smells. The smells,
yeah.
Yeah, but he sat with me and he was just baffled at what I was like. He's like, why would you put that in your mouth?
I know. That's what I get.
But I said to him, what are you going to do? Because you can't take a girl on a date, really, to McDonald's.
No.
And he looked at me deadpan, and he's not and he was serious. He said, Mum, he said, I'm likely to, I'll date an autistic girl that has a sensory palate, like he didn't say sensory, but who eats like me.
Yes, yeah.
Like he couldn't understand my question. He's like, what are you talking about? Of course I will, no problem.
Yeah.
They'll just be more like me than you are.
Absolutely, that will happen.
Actually, yes, mate, that makes sense.
Oh, my God, that's I've been hoping because Henry hasn't cut his hair in 8 years or something like that. He's done it himself sometimes, but I can't talk about cutting. I can't talk about hair. I can't do any of that. So he's got this beautiful long luscious locks.
Beautiful. Yeah, I saw that.
But the only way I think that would change him and like he would cut his hair would be for a girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely going to be girlfriend, where she would just go, I wouldn't mind. I think you'd be nice with short hair. Okay. I can imagine that would happen, but also I can imagine someone who's just like a lovely long hair and it is what it is.
100%. Like
part of the reason I've grown my hair long again is for him, for people around. I'm sick of people looking. So now I've grown my hair long too. I think we'll just take a little bit of that off him. You know what I mean? To see, the dad's got long hair too, so I can see what's going on there.
Yeah. I would love it if does he attend a school or does he?
He does, yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
I'd love for them to say, Henry really needs to cut his hair to you.
We went through all that. He wasn't going to go to school because he had to tie his hair back. But they were good. They accommodated in the fact that he gets to wear a hat that goes it's also got that fabric down the back. Yeah. And I worked very hard with him to tie his hair back. And he allows me to do that, and he allows to do that at school, which was very brave and really proud of him. Yeah. But he was up till the morning. We went the morning before to try out here's your locker and all this sort of stuff, and he was hiding behind me, and I'm thinking, and we're all going, oh shit. And then the next morning I said to my wife, like, well, I'll drop him off. Let's just keep this light and breezy. So I was just laughing with him and carrying on. And one of the teachers was going to come down to the car to help him, to escort him, into the class. And we pulled up and I'm just thinking, oh God, this is not going to go well, The teacher comes towards the car, and Henry turns to me and looks at me and says, "Watch this." And then as the guy got to the door and opened it, Henry started going, and my face dropped, and then his face was like, priceless, was like, oh shit, here we go. And all of a sudden he went, "Oh, just joking."
Oh, bless.
And off he walked,
But people don't understand how brave our young humans have to front up to school every day. How brave they are. How
They're
brave,
amazing.
how strong. I mean, they say, like there's in a lot of outward ways, people would say they're not resilient, but oh my goodness.
Unbelievably resilient.
To turn
in different ways to us.
In different ways, that's right. But I was more like, I would love to be a fly on the wall with the school that told him to cut his hair because you've got long hair, and
I know.
When people talk to my son about healthy choices and eating, because my youngest carries a bit of weight like me.
Yep.
And they're telling me, and I'm like, clearly I'm not nailing it. You're talking to the wrong person.
There's other stuff going on, There was another school of someone I was talking to, which was amazing. Similar situation, that they wanted to wear a beanie. Yeah, it was like a beanie. And so what the school did was actually design a beanie with the school emblem on it and made it available to all the students.
Love it.
How cool is that? I still feel like I should go down and have a talk to them about maybe making his hat, get an emblem on it, and make it available for other people to wear if they want to as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And because it's an expression, like when I don't understand uniforms in schools either, like or it being not sport. Like Kobe's school has been amazing and accommodating, so it's a fully uniformed Catholic school. But
as is too, yeah.
But he wears sports uniform every day, and it wasn't actually hard. I literally just shared the struggle, and they're like, okay, you can wear sport. Now, but why make them wear ties? How is that conducive to learning? Like, what? There's virtually no workplaces these days that even require it. Like, it is so dated. Just do differently, do better. Like, Hester's great. They don't have a uniform, and in fact,
of course.
In fact, you would, if you were, you referred to vanilla before, if you're, wears fairly straightforward clothing with, fairly usual hair, like not usual, like you kind of mainstream.
I know what you're going to say.
You can feel uncomfortable in this school.
They'd be like, oh, what's that? Who's that weirdo?
Yeah, you're weird. In fact, I took Kobe recently to have a, because he's considering going there. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know that I fit in, because it was so the opposite. Which is really cool. Everyone can you do you. They can have purple hair, a mohawk. You can have 30,000 piercings if you want.
Brilliant.
You can be transitioning. You can be whatever. It is fully inclusive. It is amazing.
How would, because we want Henry to, because of his bonsai, and he's amazing with naming everything. We're going to do horticulture, study horticulture. Yeah. Do you think, is there any way through Hester that would do that, or is it just?
Well, you do your vet program, and you can do it off campus. So Kai did, on his vet day, he went to Gordon TAFE in Geelong to do his emerging tech. So they're very...
They are. I've seen that they've got that sort of full set up and ready to go. Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I'm even thinking about studying horticulture online with him, at the same time. Yeah. I just think that it might help, because when he's learning, I'm learning as well.
Yes, yeah, and you can have that shared, passion and interest.
Well, he makes so much freaking money at the market. I'm thinking, he should be paying us, and hopefully he will employ us at some point. When he becomes an adult.
Me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened.
Yeah.
And
no, it's all free. It's all free labour.
Absolutely. So Mike and I, fun fact for the first, so when we did quit our jobs, but because we recognised that it was his purpose and his drive, and so for the first 4 years we quit our jobs, but we did not pay ourselves. We lived off savings to give the business the ability to scale and grow. You know, pay for websites, pay for photography, pay for, you know, help in the ways that we needed it. And you can't, and develop the products to develop out the range. Like we took Kai over, he did a kids in business mentoring program for 12 months. And part of it was learning like all aspects of business, but he was only 12 when he did it. And we did it with him, like you. So we did it alongside him. But it culminated in a trip to China at learning sourcing. And so that's actually how we actually developed our contacts and developed the ability. Because I mean, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
I sweated. Our first container, well, it wasn't a container. Our first order was $4,000, and I reckon I overthought that for about 6 months. I was like,
yes, that's right.
We were using Kai's money because it was his, and so he used his money. So it was all he had. You know, saved in his little business. And to me, I just wanted to make sure it was the right call for him. So I overthought it lots. Anyway, I giggle now because, you know, we do probably 4 to 6 containers a year, and they're all north of, you know, $150,000, $200,000 each. And I don't even bat now.
Wow.
But it's but in order to have the right products, like we just got to constantly innovate and it only takes one person. Like if someone says, it'd be really helpful if we had this X, I don't go, let's do some market research and find out if it's a viable financial economic decision, and do tens of thousands of people want it, therefore it's worth it. I go, one person needs it. If I can make it happen, I will. I might sit on the product the rest of them for 10 years, which is true. Often.
That's so interesting. But the money. I mean, we freak out when Henry buys a bonsai tree, you know, and it's like, you know, $150, $200 or something like that. And it's like, well, that's not going to see any profit for a long time. But we met this amazing, by the way, I'm going to turn this into 2 episodes. We're talking, and please tell me when you need to stop, when you need to go. Okay?
You're good.
So we go down in Phillip Island a lot, and there's a bonsai place down there, and so we called up the lady, and you know, it was by appointment only because she didn't live in the house. And so she said it was very gruff, you know. Yes, well, sure. And I told her it was about my son, and you could hear her go, "Oh God, here we go." Yeah, sure. Yeah, bring him down. And so we went down, and she was, you know, just abrupt, and she was just like, you know, you're gonna be wasting my time here. And then the two of them started talking, and her demeanour completely changed. And she just stopped at one point when he was starting to name all these plants, and turned around and said, "You know what you're talking about, don't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And from that point on, they've developed this amazing relationship. She's like a mentor for him. And I think at some point, because she's now getting towards retiring age, and she's selling pots more than the actual plants.
Yes.
I think he's probably going to end up buying all her stock at some point, where she's just like, I'm done. And I reckon she'll offer it to Henry, you know, to take all of it.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I think that's going to happen because...
Oh, that's just giving me goosebumps.
She's just, she loves him now. And they're just, the two of them just chitter-chatter for an hour and whatever, just to go through all that stuff. And I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm trying. But man, oh man, that sort of stuff, that's what you need. That's what you need.
Do you know what? I've just while you were talking, I had 2 ideas pop. So this is my brain. It pops off into...
Me too.
Corporate gifts would be a really great space for Henry.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, Little Gigs Australia had seen him at the market, and we've done that. We've done a couple of corporate things through them. They did the Young Achievers Award. Yep. And so we supplied the trees for the the voters, whatever you call
the judges.
The judges. And then there was another thing that she came back and got some more from him. And so she's Little Gigs Australia, and she wants to put him in for Young Achievers Award.
A great process. And even like promotional companies, like actually like some of the smaller, like actually getting it out so you can go further, like in terms of a broader reach. It depends on how many bonsai tree he wants to sell. And I just had another thought. Again, you don't have to, they might all be shit ideas. You know, the way I always think is out of every 100 ideas I have in my brain, there's probably 1 or 2 in there that should actually do something.
That's the way it should be. That's a process of elimination.
Like little inspirational, so one of the things, I developed recently was just I'd seen like little crochet things on other websites, but I did my own version. I've got one that's a turtle that's little back goes over his head, and it's I'm done peopling for today is the quote. And one that's my ducks are absolutely not in a row.
I saw that. I saw those.
So they don't actually, like a lot of people have kind of bagged them. Why are you doing those? It's actually I see you. Like it's really just not an affirmation, but the kind of like it's just I see you. Anyway, but you could have little like some version of whatever like on the pots as well, or even a tag. Do you know what else you could do? So, fucking now I'm all excited. Each bonsai could have a birth certificate.
Oh my goodness. It's interesting for the kids.
But no, even for the adults. Because if you like bonsais, you've probably got some interesting special, like, do you know what I mean? Like it's quirky. It's not
a name.
Like a name and a birth certificate that would level up.
Yes.
Different to anything anyone's done before. Can you imagine? Sorry.
I'm just trying to. I should have put my little notepad.
Sorry, these are all probably unwelcome.
Multiple pages open.
I'm off thinking about his bonsai business. I'll probably send you about 30,000 ideas.
Well, for him, with the pots, when I even said, "Can you put your logo on the pots?" and he said, "That's just crass, Dad. That's ridiculous." So he wouldn't want to put anything on the pots, but unless it's a theme. I think the themed idea that might turn.
You know how in you can get those little stakes that go in and identify the plant. You could actually develop some, like you could probably, I don't know, get a cricket machine that, those crickets, I don't know, I've never used it, but there's a cricket machine you can actually print onto things, but each one could have their own, like it could have maybe on the back of their logo, but have the little, the name and, or just like, but it could be something that stays with the plant if people want it, but they can take it out, but it actually identifies, I don't know, I just think that give it a personality.
That's really cool because they were both into those little fluffy things that had a name and a description and a birthday and that sort of stuff. So they were, so that's definitely, he understands that. The thing is at the moment, because they're just keeping up with the market at the moment. You know what I mean? Because it is hard with just bonsai. So he has to go and buy little junipers and things like that and figs and things to then pot and set up, as opposed to the other stuff he's got going. It's on the go. It's very different. But to be able to produce a lot of stuff, that's another level up that he won't have time for yet. So we have to sort of these are all growth things that'll happen once I think he's probably out of finished school.
And the other thing too, when you do start introducing things like say he did birth certificates and names, it puts it in a different league. So I don't know how much he charges for it, but maybe it's just not enough.
It isn't enough, but he's okay with that at the moment. But mind you, he's still making...
Give him an hour with me. Give him an hour with me.
I know. He's averaging about probably 300, 350 of the market. He does better than most of the market people.
Beautiful.
But it's him. It's him, his personality.
100%. Yeah. But it's also okay. And it's not so much making more money to line your pockets, but by truly valuing what you do and what you're bringing to the table and pricing it appropriately, you're allowing yourself to grow and develop to the next level, to do the next things that are really important in his journey as an entrepreneur and as a business owner.
He's very ethical about it. So he wants to be in a price range that people are going to be able to afford to get one. He does have more expensive ones, so he does have those available. But he also has the small ones because he's been very adamant. He's pushed back and said, no, this is the price that, Andy, our support, have decided, and we're not going to. We keep trying to say that, but he's just no, I'm not going to do that.
So it might be in accessories, like he could have little bonsai care kits.
Yes.
Or, if you ever need help sourcing anything, I can also help, in terms of, bringing things in. Yeah,
bonsai care kits.
Or, just what are the things to do with? Like the birth certificate could be something that they buy extra. Like if you would like, it's a $25 and we'll mail you out their birth certificate and name. Like it could be just something, an opt-in kind of thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but sort of opt-in of opt-in.
Like even like, his own little book on how to care for bonsais, or like a downloadable thing. Like that might be something, a QR code that goes to a QR code.
We've got the QR code happening. Yeah, we've definitely got that going, which goes to his Instagram.
Perfect.
Site.
Amazing.
Yeah, yep. And we had like CEOs who were on part of that, the corporate thing, have been sort of posting, and
I love that.
There's a lot of growth, but I'm also mindful of the fact that we're all working and he's at school, so there's only so much time we have.
I don't relate to that at all. Yeah.
I got the podcast. I write music, and I love. I've been having to pull out all the plants in the backyard to make room for him. So now I've got like about 200 pot plants, which I'm trying to sell on Marketplace and stuff like that. Someone's coming at 5 to get some. But I love that. I love just the separating all the bigger plants and repotting them, and I love that. So I don't know how to. I'm struggling how to sell my stuff. But we all have we've got lots of different ideas, and we've got lots of different talents, particularly artistic talents in the family. So we can all utilise that. Jen's going to start making some pots as well.
Yep.
So she started that process to make bonsai pots, and because she's at school, she can get them all. It's a kiln there.
Fine. Fantastic.
Yep. So that's going to happen. That will be a cost saving, obviously, as well.
For sure.
But she goes and teaches people and adults how to make things. And she had Andy, who's the sport worker, come over, and they were making some beautiful bonsai pots that we saw at this Phillip Island place.
Yep.
And they were making those. So, oh my God, it's just endless, isn't it? When you've got a neurodivergent brains, there's no limit. And
that's the thing. But I also love being in the company. So it's a real privilege to talk to you, being in the company of another parent that gets leaning into it.
Yes, it is. We put a lot of our energy and our fuel into them.
Yeah,
it's exhausting.
It is. And sometimes, particularly when you're neurodivergent yourself, and for me, once I understood and honoured that in myself, it became a whole heap harder in terms of not harder to give, but my cup, I was more aware of how messy my own world was, and perimenopause smacked me in the face, and the 2 trains smashed.
Yeah.
But it's really hard because as parents we have to, what people see, and even for myself, and yourself, we're front facing, people hear your podcast, people see me on socials, they have a perception, amazing mum, back their kid, and we are all those things, but we're also messy humans who, the last 2 times, or actually not last because the last time I actually functioned okay, but 2 times before that, because I have to be very specific, I was at the airport and I needed a support worker. I didn't have one. I actually had to go and get help. I melted down in a very non-functional way.
Oh, my God. And an adult, us, a late diagnosed person, having to ask for help is bloody difficult. We've been told to suck it up, though, haven't we? That's the other aspect of it. We've been told to suck it up, so I felt embarrassed in the past. And we went out with a younger autistic person, and we went out to dinner, and she just called the person over and said, would you mind just turning the music down and switching, can you have a thing to switch the lights down a bit? And the 2 of us were looking at her and just, oh my God, you can ask that? But
how do you tackle it though, when you get a no?
I think, one, you plan ahead and say, well, what's this venue and where are we going, and know beforehand, so you don't put yourself in that position. Is always a good thing to do. But if not, it's about whether the people around you, they're open enough for you to put on your headphones for a while. Another time, I went with the work group and I didn't care. It was too loud inside. I knew after 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I won't be able to hear anything. It'll just be one sound. So I said, do you mind if can we go outside, and would you be able to turn the music off there? And they were so great. They did. So I made everyone go outside.
And most are. Just sometimes. I've only ever had it once, but where they just weren't able to, weren't able to accommodate. And I was like, what do I do? Do I leave? I feel like that's rude. But
I know.
It was a really good topic of conversation, because actually everyone else I was with was and neurodivergent also. So
okay, right. Well, that should be that's cool. Go outside. Now, what a pity we don't smoke anymore, because there's always a great excuse to go out and just going to have a puff. I can't do that. What are you going to do outside? And go out and what? Chew gum?
Anyway, the place I found I go to is actually, and I'm always very respectful, like I look and see if anyone, and if, I don't stay in there very long, but the disabled toilet is a really great place to go. It is. Yep. It's like a small sensory space for me, and it's usually fairly silent. Yes. And so I need 30 seconds in there, a minute, tops.
That's it.
And I usually use it for its purpose as well. So I'm double downing
double downing.
Is that the word? Is that the word?
Well, you just don't say double dropping.
I'm double dropping, maybe too. I'm triple dropping, whatever.
Triple dropping, yeah.
But I'll go in there and
absolutely.
If I can't find a reprieve, then
it's owning that, though. It's a wonderful thing to be able to say, I'm going to allow myself to do that, to acknowledge it. Even if I don't acknowledge it to anyone else, I'm going to acknowledge it to myself and find some way to get away for a little while.
Yeah, and for me, I had to wrestle with it, being so passionate about not using anything. But, being neurodivergent is different, and my sensory needs in some ways do present as a disability. And so it's a disabled toilet.
In the setting.
And setting, So it took me a bit to get my head around to feel okay to do it, but I'm actually using it for the exact purpose it's for. Yep. In 2 ways.
Yes. Yep.
Because in the absence of using it, I am going to melt down, and that's not good for anyone. So I've had a lot of experience of death, and I understand that there's something you're going through illness. So there's things going on as well with your dad, and so I've been through that more times than I care to recall. But I'm also very good in those situations. Yep. I may not ask someone, introduce them to an interview, or say, how are you going, or do all those sorts of little supposed niceties that you're supposed to. But when someone's partner's father passed away when I was in the office, and she was very upset, I'm really good. I'm really good at going up there and supporting her and hugging and all that sort of stuff. Like, do you think a lot of neurodivergent people are really bloody good at these situations? I agree. So often we're coined as saying we don't have social
feelings.
I actually think we're actually often more on point. Because we'll say that I'm exactly like, as you were sharing that, I'm like, I'm the same. Because we'll say things that everyone thinks, oh, I can't say that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. We say it. We just say it. Like, but it's often what we need to hear. Or, for me, it might be as simple as, I don't know what to say right now. Or actually just owning that I don't know.
Yep.
Rather than just not. Like, so often, particularly in grief or trauma, everybody like just doesn't. Yeah.
So how have you dealt with struggling grief? Have you had an outlet before the kids? Did you have any of that? Was your childhood pretty okay?
No.
Easy?
So, and again, it's interesting, and I know you're going to be okay with this conversation because, just because we've been talking. Because often, when people ask you questions like, "Do you really want to know the answer to that?" So,
yes.
No. So I know you do. I'm just saying, people are. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about when people ask the question, you kind of go,
"No,
are you ready?" Or "A buckle up." No. Yeah. So I was abused by my uncle as a child,
right? Yep.
And so from 4 till about 9. Yep. And so, that has shaped and defined who I am in so many ways that I'm even still uncovering as a human.
Of course.
But it also has made me who I am. And so, like, most people wouldn't understand it. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I wouldn't change it either. If that,
I understand what you're saying, and it is a tough thing to verbalize and make sense for yourself to talk about something that's so damaging. But it's because you're honouring who you are now, and also the fact that you've got through all this sort of stuff and you come out of the other end feeling stronger and like you're going to be okay. And I think that's what you're honouring, as opposed to the specific causes that lead to that sort of thing.
Right. That's right. And so for me, but when Tara unpacked explaining how our brains are wired a little differently, and she explained that box sort of analogy. It totally, for the first time in my life, it helped me feel okay about how I have processed things.
Yes. I talked about this many times, that we are so vulnerable, and particularly as youngsters, young neurodivergent people, we are so bloody vulnerable to all kinds of situations that we wouldn't wish on anyone. And that's why it's so important now that we are, and I don't know about you, but I'm very open with my kids about just letting them understand things from marketing and how they try to help. They're just the whole capitalism side of things, and also sex and all those sorts of things, because they don't tell you. Like, they'll tell you what the basics are, but they don't tell you all that it actually feels good. And so when you get to that age, you're going to want it.
Yeah,
and so there's all that sort of stuff, and that sort of information is so important, and it's important information particularly with kids, to this all bullshit about stranger danger. It's not.
It's
stranger
usually
danger.
Not. It's not usually stranger.
No. It's about. It's and so we've worked very hard at them saying, like, we're talking about Henry's hair, when I say to him, that's your hair, not mine. You choose what you do with that. That's not up to me, mate. And that's what we say to other people. If you don't want to hug someone, then you don't have to hug them. All those things of getting rid of that 70s style of parenting that we got, where you just that's what you had to do, and you had to shut your mouth and you had to respect your elders. No, I've always said no. You can only respect someone who deserves to be respected. Okay, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Now, I did promise I was going to quickly tell you about what's coming up next. It has been mentioned on Instagram, but boy, oh boy, it's been a while since I posted this, because I'm not posting my episodes just as much as I used to, I guess. So next episode, we're going to be sitting down with author and journalist Kaiko. Same surname as me, but we talk about that. Look, it was everything you expect to get. A similar conversation to what we had here. Just a lovely conversation between two neurodivergent thinkers. We talked about music-triggered memories, the fluidity of self, parenting, neurodivergence, and why dancing can mean so much. Look, the conversation was equal parts raw, thoughtful, and poetic. Now, I can't wait to tell Kay it's coming up because she's probably thinking I'd forgotten all about it and it was never going to be coming out. But it is. It is coming out in the next episode, and it's another fantastic conversation. So there you go. All the usual comments that I say. Check out the notes. Patreon, blah, 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 blah. It's been a long one. Take care. See you next week. Oh my God, did I say next week? It's not next week, okay? It's not going to be next week. I can't make those sorts of promises. Oh God, no. I'll see you soon.